Jack and Lois Huntercook welcomed Gary Leroy Huntercook into their world on January 31, 1955, in Redwood Falls, Minnesota. Gary, brother Brian, and sister Kim grew up in the clean, quiet town of Princeton, Minnesota, about 50 miles northwest of downtown Minneapolis. As a boy, Gary enjoyed hunting with his dad, spending time on his grandparents' farm, helping his dad photograph weddings, and camping with the Boy Scouts. Gary has always had a strong interest in sports. At Princeton High School, he played football, swam, and managed the track and cross-country teams. He graduated in 1973. At Winona State University in Winona, Minnesota, Gary managed the track team for 4 years. He was the student director of men's athletics for 2 years and participated in the InterVarsity Christian Fellowship chapter. For most of that period, Gary was sports editor for the Lewiston Journal. He graduated from Winona State in 1978 with a B.S. in elementary education. On June 10th of that year, Gary married Deborah Lingstad Huntercook. They had found each other while studying at Winona State. Gary spent the next 6 years as an elementary school teacher and a high school coach. In his first year after college, he taught 3rd grade at Highland Elementary School in Windham, a small town in southwestern Minnesota. That same year, he was the junior high wrestling coach and assistant track coach at Windham High School. For the next few years, Gary taught and coached in Lakefield, another small town in southwestern Minnesota. He taught 1st grade for a year, then 3rd grade for 3 years at Pleasant View Elementary. Meanwhile, at Lakefield High School, Gary was head wrestling coach for 4 years, assistant track coach for a year, head boys and girls track coach for a year, and head boys track coach for another year. On June 18, 1981, daughter Andrea was born to a couple of proud parents. Their lives would never be the same. In 1983, the young family moved to Burnsville, Minnesota. Gary became a substitute teacher in the Bloomington, Burnsville, and Apple Valley school districts. He also volunteered as a wrestling coach at Bloomington Kennedy High School. Also in 1983, Gary tested a career in photography, shooting weddings for McCullough Studio. A couple of years later, he placed 3rd in the Minnesota Professional Photographers of America Chapter Wedding Album Competition. Can he make portraits? Absolutely. Gary says his best job ever, though, was that of stay-at-home dad, which he did in 1983 while his wife finished her MBA in economics at Minnesota State University in Mankato. Gary knew about camera art through his dad. In the fall of 1984, Jack was working at Camera Art in Lewiston. He called Gary with word that Harlan Wachholtz, manager of Area 1 at the time, just might need some help with photography. Sure enough, Gary became a school photographer that year, and it wasn't too many years later before he added the titles of sales associate and territory manager. That was a good thing because his second daughter, Lauren, was born on November 11, 1985. Daughter Gretchen came along on December 26, 1990, as Gary's business continued to grow. Deborah and Gary have raised a trio of serious students. Daughter Andrea, or Annie, received her master's in social work from the University of Southern California in 2005. Before that, she had graduated with her degree in psychology from Biola University in La Mirada, California in 2003. She now lives in Corona del Mar, California, and works for Olive Crest Adoption Agency. Lauren is currently finishing her degree at Rutgers University, where she is captain of the women's golf team. Gretchen is a junior at Burnsville High School, where she is also captain of her state championship golf team. Since 1997, Gary has managed Territory 2 in Burnsville, Minnesota, covering the eastern half of the metropolitan area of Minneapolis and St. Paul. His hopes for the future include enlarging his territory sales sufficiently to be able to start another territory for Associate Sales Rep John Wortman, whom we just hired in May of 2007. Through the years, Gary continued his interest in sports. He became the first Wrestling Booster Club president at the University of Minnesota in Minneapolis. It's now one of the largest college wrestling booster clubs in the nation. He held that presidency for 11 years and was honored by the team and fans for his service. Meanwhile, he was a high school wrestling official for 20 years and was recently inducted into the Jackson County Central Wrestling Hall of Fame. Gary currently coaches and manages the University Golf Club's junior golf team. He has coached the junior girls team to 3 straight Minnesota Golf Association state championships. This is the first team of its kind to ever win 3 championships in a row. In his spare time, Gary enjoys playing golf, watching college football and college wrestling, visiting friends around the country, and traveling with his daughters. Gary credits many people with providing help and encouragement through the years. His dad, Jack, gets a big nod for providing early exposure to photography and for introducing him to Harlan. Harlan Wachholz gets credit for giving him a chance, showing him the ropes and more. Dave Kiefer added his mentoring along the way, as did Roger Knightsky and Terry Lane.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for being here. I want each of you to know what an honor and a privilege it is for me to be one of the first 2 representatives from the photography division of Herff Jones to enter into the Herff Jones Hall of Fame. And to be going into the Hall of Fame with a friend and colleague I've known for over 20 years, Tommy Olson, is even more of a privilege. Congratulations, Tommy, you deserve it. Today I would like to give thanks and recognition to several people who have helped me achieve this level. Very first, I need to recognize the man who saw something in me and gave me the chance at sales, Harlan Wachholz. Harlan, it was your friendship, your mentorship, your guidance that's helped me be up here today. You gave me free license to sell and to learn. You were never critical if I failed. You were always very supportive. And when I did fail, you were there to say, what can we learn from it and where do we go? Harlan, it was your example and yours and Sharon's support that's helped me get to where I am. Harlan, thank you very much. I've also been very blessed to have regional managers who have been very supportive. John Brinkman, Terry Lane, Keith Keel, John Brinkman again, Jeff Kelly, and back to you, John. You guys, it's been a privilege to work for you. I always knew that you were there to support me and that you had my back. I can't tell you how easy it is to do your job when you know that somebody is there to cover for you, to support you, and to help you. Even when you've made mistakes, you're there to listen. Thank you. John, do you think our dads ever dreamt that their 2 sons would be working together like this? How neat is that? Next, I would like to recognize and thank a few more people who've helped me achieve this level. First of all, Roger Knightsky. Roger, I remember the day that you pulled me in your office after I'd been named a territory manager. And one of the things you shared with me is we're all going to make mistakes. First thing we need to do is figure out what went wrong. Let's get it fixed. And what can we do to make sure it didn't happen again? Those words of wisdom have helped me not only in my business, but in my personal life as well. Roger, thank you. I also appreciated the support that you'd give us to try new things, to venture out and look for new ways to generate business. It was always nice to know that you were there to help us and support us whatever way you can. Next, I'd like to recognize Dan Wilchin. Dan, you were a friend and a mentor. You were always there to bounce ideas off of, encourage me, and you taught me to treat your customer not as another order, but as a friend and a valued person. Dan, that advice has really helped. Once you can develop a friendship with a customer, it's tough for them to switch, and it makes doing business so much fun. Dan, I thank you for the phone calls and our yearly cigar at the national sales meetings. Next, I would like to thank and recognize all the people at the plant, the personnel, far too many to even mention, and I don't want to forget anyone. But you guys at the plant were there. You got the orders out. Without you producing what we sold, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you. The people at the former Burnsville plant were great to work with and friends. The people past and current at Lewiston. In order entry, production, the people when I get the phone call and say, how you doing, good friend? I need this out tomorrow. Thank you. It was those types of efforts that make Herff Jones a very successful organization. And next, I would like to thank the people in our Metro office, Chuck Klug, Kent Fairburn, Danny Barnstead, Eileen Novak, Mike Mitro, and last but not least, my new sales associate, John Wortman. It is a great place to work. The friendship and the camaraderie we share, the support that we can give each other and help, makes going to work every morning fun and enjoyable. You guys have supported me and helped me. We've worked together, and because of your support and help, helped me get to achieve this level. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. And last but not least, I need to thank my family. First of all, my mom and dad. My mom was one of the most compassionate, understanding people I've ever met. From her, I learned everybody is a valued person. And I learned my integrity from her to treat everybody with value and worth. That has helped in business and my personal life as well. Unfortunately, my mom has passed away and can't share this moment with me, but I know she's watching from heaven. Thank you, Mom. Next, I want to thank my dad, Jack. Dad, I've learned so many things from you and so many lessons, but the thing that stands out the most to me is there's no substitute for hard work. What sticks out and the lesson I remember the most is when I was 10 years old, you sent me out to rake that great big yard of ours. And after I hurriedly did it and thought I had finished because I wanted to go play, I came in and said, Dad, I'm done. You walked out and looked at the poor job I did raking. You sat down with me and he said, Gary, if you can look me in the eye and say that's the best job you can do, you're free to go. Later, as I was out re-raking the yard that afternoon, I remembered that there is no substitute for hard work. That no matter whatever task you take, you do the very best job you can. That will stand out. Dad, thank you for the lessons in life, for being my friend, being there to support me no matter what I went up against, what I was with. I always knew you were there. Thanks, Dad. And finally, the people I want to thank are the 4 women in my life who stood with me, supported me, and given me the inspiration to do the job that I have. First of all, my oldest daughter, Annie. Annie, you are such an inspiration to me. Your commitment, dedication, and hard work, your single-minded focus to make up your mind and do something inspires me. It challenges me to be a better man, to go out and sell and do the very best job I can. I'm very proud of you and I love you. Thank you. Lauren, I've learned so much with you. We've been down so much together, and it's your zest and zeal for life that inspires me. I watch you and see how you attack, and your hard work has brought you to levels I could have never dreamed for a child of mine. We've certainly been through a lot together, but each one of those experiences helped shape and refine us into the people that we are today. Your drive to be the very best has inspired me in my sales. Do you remember when you were 12 years old, we were at the Monticello tournament? When they gave the medalist award out to the girl who shot 75, you looked up at me and said, Dad, do you think I can be that good? Lauren, you've been there. I'm proud of you and all that you've accomplished. It's been a great run, and I've learned so much from being your dad, and I just am so proud of you. Lauren, I love you. Gretchen, you never cease to amaze me. I've never met anybody who has a single focused drive that you have. Everything you've attempted, you've achieved. I'll never forget when we went to pick you up from golf camp, the coach came up and said, you know what she said to me today? Coach, there's nothing I can't do, it just may take me longer. Gretchen, I've used those words in my job. There's some sales that I wasn't able to get right away. I keep trying and trying, and I finally got them. Thanks for your wise advice. Gretchen, thanks for being the last one to stick around. I wouldn't have had it any other way. I love you. And finally, my wife, Deborah. Deb, if any woman deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, it's you. You've put up with me for 29 years. That I can't thank you enough for. Your support, your encouragement, you've challenged me to be the man that I am today. It's because of you that I'm here. Without your support, I couldn't have done anything. Deb, I love you. And finally, again, thank you for sharing this moment with me. As I looked through the pictures that you saw and made this video, it made me realize how much I have to be thankful for. I have been truly blessed. I have a beautiful wife, 3 beautiful girls, friends like you, the opportunity to work for a sales organization like Herff Jones. It is an honor to be a member of the first class Hall of Fame for photography. Thanks again.